So what the arms have are these will be locks for rotation. So there will be a post running off of the bar in the middle, the crossbar. These fit in here. And if you look, that post on the bar will rotate back and forth and be locked against the collars, these collars. And these collars are sitting in here, and you can see the lock. And then I have these plastic collars that'll hold these bearings, right? And the crossbar goes through this. And this, whoops. These sit in rotation locks. So this is the one that requires, hold on. So these sit in the rotation locks, and they will be flush with this, right? This one has the added complexity of there will need to be a wire running up this post providing power to the internal electronics. So this collar has been cut wide on the bottom. There's still the rotation lock on the top, but this collar has a shorter out point, and so that will still mate up, but it won't block the wire path from the inside. Then I have to actually cut down this bar slightly so that this handle ends up where it should be, which is here. And once this is locked onto the bar, you see that there will be a hole drilled right through this. You can rotate the entire headstock with the bar. And the bar, like I said, will have a pin locked into it. So when you rotate this, it'll only rotate a certain amount, but the entire bar will rotate. And then the bar will also be locked up inside the headstock with these collars. So the point of using all of these and the steel and this is for durability, it's metal. For practical purposes of like recreating a shape, we're going with plastic. You know, plastic has a metal substructure, which gives us the strength that we need to allow us to, you know, safely rotate this. Right? I needed a reliable way to drill a hole at the right length from the end of the pipe that went straight through. And to do that, I made this little jig where I can fit the pipe in and then run the drill press straight down through and get right through to the other side. Yeah, works great. And so in doing that, I now have a well-aligned hole. This is for the lock nut. So this then gets put into position. That's upside down. Like that. Right? I can squeeze that in a little bit just so it tightens up against the right thing. Just like that. Then we put the post in, or the pipe in. You can see through. And then we have a bolt that goes straight through into that nut. And we just tighten that down onto the nut. And then we have a locked bolt. Oops. There we go. So now When we turn this, the whole apparatus turns. I also don't want this to be tight to the thing, so I have this small spacer that I can put on. So when I put the pipe onto the apparatus, the assembly, this will provide a little bit of space, just a tiny bit, so that we end up with a little gap. And so now I can figure out where to cut this so that it matches this on this side for the other handle. What I'll do is I'll measure the depth to the bottom of that, right? 15 millimeters. And then I'll transfer that measurement over to the pipe. And so then we take a pipe cutter, we cut along the mark we made. Whenever it loosens, we tighten it. Until we break through like that. And that is a cut pipe. Yeah, so now you can see you'll be able to rotate using the handles because they'll be locked in place, and you'll be able to rotate the head because they're locked onto the bar. So far, so good.